Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. Over the course of this video, I'll be sharing my thoughts and feelings on Season 3, Episode 3 of OWN's Family or Fiancé. And in addition to giving commentary on the highlights of the episode, I will attempt to answer the important question, why was this episode even necessary? Because I gotta be honest with all of you, I felt like I wasted my time watching it. But if you give me a few moments of your time, I'll happily explain why. Episode 3 shines its spotlight on the couple Brandy and Akin, and I try not to be judgmental, but upon first glance, I thought there was something off about this couple. Aside from the glaring age difference between them, I was getting strong sugar daddy vibes from Akin. But that's neither here nor there. Brandy and Akin have been together for 2 years, and they initially met on Facebook. You see folks, one day, Akin was scrolling through Facebook and he saw pictures of Brandy from the chest up, and he decided to shoot a shot in her DMs. One thing led to another, and Akin and Brandy were in a relationship. But here's the unique aspect of their relationship. Brandy is a content creator who lives in Atlanta, while Akin is a restaurant owner who lives in Louisiana. Now while some people may have issues with long distance relationships, Brandy and Akin seem to make it work because they enjoy their own space. Which begs the question, how is that going to work if they get married and have kids? So for this episode, Brandy invites her mother, sister, and friend, while Akin invites his sister, nephew, and friend. The two families never met before, which is a little shocking considering that Brandy and Akin are engaged, but furthermore, Louisiana isn't really that far from Georgia, and I'm sure if the two families really wanted to meet, they could have done so by now. But again, that's neither here nor there. Brandy and Akin then meet with the combined group, and Brandy's family share concerns that having a baby is a deal breaker for Brandy, but they also accuse Akin of using the N-word and being racially insensitive. And this is all based on what Brandy told her mother. Now right off the bat, there seems to be some tension with Akin because he was offended that someone would accuse him of being racist. Now I have no dog in the fight, but I got a lingering feeling that he definitely said the N-word a time or two in his lifetime. Akin's family also shared concerns about Akin having a baby at his age, as well as how the long-distance relationship would work once they got married. After the initial meeting, Brandy meets with Akin's family and Akin meets with Brandy's family. To sum up Akin's meeting with Brandy's family, Akin denies ever saying the N-word in any capacity, and he also denies ever wanting to have a baby, despite what Brandy may have thought he wanted, which doesn't sit well with the family, because they know how Brandy feels about babies. But the more I watch this episode, the more Akin comes off as slick as a used car salesman. And in my opinion, I think Akin told Brandy whatever she wanted to hear in order for him to massage her massive melanated mammaries or to clap them cheeks. But when Brandy meets with Akin's family, they ask her about him using the N-word, and she flat out says that he used it, but she doesn't think that he's racist. So the two families meet for dinner and there's finally a showdown. Brandy's family calls Akin out for the answers that he gave during their meeting, and when Akin says that Brandy lied about him saying the N-word, and he tells the group that he never wanted to have a baby, Brandy gives Akin all the smoke, which is well deserved. At this point in the episode, it seems like Brandy and Akin are avoiding the inevitable breakup. But to sum up the remainder of the episode, Brandy and Akin have a come to Jesus moment, and they decide to break up because Akin simply doesn't want to have kids. And after watching all of this, I gotta ask, why was this episode even necessary? I can definitely tell you why it wasn't. In my opinion, the issues that Brandy and Akin had could have been addressed a long time ago if they had just gone to couples counseling or simply just sat down and talked about things. Furthermore, the issues could have been resolved if Brandy had just left Akin the first time he was dancing around the issue of having kids. But then one has to ask, why would Brandy stay in a long-distance relationship with somebody that's significantly older than her and that is dancing around the topic of having kids? Maybe she enjoyed its companionship, because dating in Atlanta is pretty rough for women. Then again, Akin was probably spending a lot of money on Brandy, and she stuck around for the benefits. Nevertheless, if I had to answer why this episode was necessary, I would respond by saying that Family or Fiancé probably needed a filler episode, and this was it. Which is why on a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate this episode a 2. As a viewer, I learned next to nothing as to why Akin and Brandy were in love and wanted to get married, and the episode was largely forgettable. What kept me from rating this episode a 1 was that host Tracy was able to get Brandy to see how she should bear some accountability and stand in a relationship with somebody who didn't give her a definitive answer on kids. But I can only imagine how this episode would have fared if Iyanla Vanzant was the host of the show. In my opinion, it probably would have lasted only 10 minutes, because Iyanla would have probably told them both that they were crazy, and she would have encouraged Brandy to get out of the relationship. But that's my opinion, and this marks the end of my review. If you have any questions or comments related to the episode or my review, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll reply to each and everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.